into the J Spot, replacing your D Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all, thank you so much for allowing me to share just a tiny portion of this evening with you. Guys, thank you so much. We have an amazing show lined up for you tonight. Hope that your week is going well. Listen, they said the calendar says that it's spring here. I haven't really experienced it yet. I mean, we have a few minutes of decent sunshine, but don't get too comfortable with that, because here in Chicago, anything could go. Like, you can go from having winter, spring, and summer all within a span of 30 minutes. And so, listen, let's just not get too comfortable. But thankfully, there's no craziness going out there weather-wise, with the exception of how cold it is. So if you all see me over here shivering and putting my hands under my table and the jacket, that's because I'm cold. Yes, I am anemic. Listen, I'm cold-blooded. They told me I need to take some iron and all kinds of other bull junkie that I have just not gotten around to doing yet, because guess what? Iron is disgusting. So if anybody has some alternatives to taking iron, something that can help me with this anemic situation, because I stay cold. Even in the wintertime, when it's 90 and 100 degrees outside, I am somewhere shivering and I'm cold. So if anybody has some good tips on what I can do naturally, holistically, that I can do to get my pull blood in order, please hit me up. Please hit me. That is not, listen, the producer back there got on some foolishness back. See, I'm trying to be nice. I come back, I'm trying to, I try to be in a good place and space of zen, but sometimes foolery takes me in. But guys, again, thank you so much. We have a great show lined up. Listen, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with our first hot topic. Now, you all, what do you think about this? This young lady is going viral. She said she files for a divorce because she said her man went broke. And she claims she did not sign up for the broke-ish. She did not sign up for that. She did not say she would stay if he got broke. What do you all think about that? She said she didn't say, I didn't promise to stay with this Bama if he went broke. I did not say that. I did not promise that. So I'm not understanding, what are you all expecting from me? But we have come to the end of the road. This brother has lost his bankroll and his wife all in one whop. What do you all think about that? Do you all think that, what? Listen, this was a wife, she's done that. She said, listen, I didn't agree to stick with him if he went broke. What do you all think about that? Was that shallow? Was it realistic? Does she have a right to say, you know what? Listen, this ain't for me. I didn't sign up for this. This is not what I said that I would do. But if I'm not mistaken, because now listen, the difference between her and I is I turned around 3 days before I made it there. So I didn't even make it to, give my vows. So I never promised anything. We never made it to the altar. Because, I started saying, I woke up and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do what the pastor, what the preacher is going to be asking me to do. So I did mine beforehand. I turned around beforehand. But sister, you up in this ish. So you did promise for better or for worse. So thick through thin, good, bad, up, down, or maybe they customize their vows because people, listen, in 2024, people are doing the absolute most. And I don't mean that in a good way. So maybe they tailored their vows, and maybe she's right. Maybe she did not say for through sickness and health, for better or for worse, richer or poorer. Maybe she didn't say that. So if she didn't say that, is she right for saying, you know what? Listen, I didn't sign up for all this. I didn't sign up and say that I would stay with this man if he went broke. That's not what I signed up for. Is that shallow? Now, here's the thing, fellas. When I heard that, I said, wow, fam, you missed like the whole this chick, that just based upon her actions with her divorcing her husband because he went broke. Hopefully there's some other issues in between there. Hopefully this is a fictitious story that, the internet loves to make up. But let's just go with what we have. So if this young lady did say, you know what, listen, I'm divorcing my husband because he went broke. I did not sign up for the broke ish. I didn't sign up for this ish. Fellas, I would say this. She was already a red flag, and I don't understand, how did he marry her? Like, how did you miss this? Like, how did you miss this? This is not something that just happened overnight. This is a behavior. This is a personality flaw. And I'm not sure if it was cute in the beginning when she was doing little things that you thought would be cute, that, oh, she's just acting out, my baby just want her way. And now you see that, yeah, no, this is classic spoiled brat, no accountability, no desire to be a wife. She just wanted to be a woman with a dude that had money. Nothing about her behavior says wife. Nothing about it, because how do you leave him at one of his worst times? How do you pledge to love him, pledge to whatever other things and vows that you made? Yeah, you may not have said, I didn't agree to go broke with him. I didn't agree to be there to go broke with him. You may not have said those words verbatim, but there were some other promises, there were some other vows that you made that committed you to still be there with this man, and you didn't take that seriously. So how do you justify that? How do you just bail out on somebody because they fall on financial hard times? I can see if you get into the relationship and you're dating and something like that happens and it's something new, then yeah, you may say, you know what? Yeah, no, this is not for me. I didn't sign up for all of that. But sweetheart, baby girl, this is your husband. How do you like turn your back and just walk clear out? I'm going to tell you how she did that. Again, these are things, this did not just happen overnight. This just did not happen with her, deciding, okay, you know what? This is not for me. This didn't just happen. She's been carrying on. She's been acting ugly. She's been acting a full-fledged foolery. She's been full of foolery from the beginning, but he thought that it was cute because she was laying it on him, doing all this crazy stuff to him, doing all that. But meanwhile, her personality and the way she's acting and the way she's moving was telling him all along, she's not going to be there for me. She's not going to have your back. This is not the woman that's going to have your back. I refuse to believe that there was not a sign there that said that, you know what, this chick, listen, let's go ahead on and call a spade a spade. She was for the streets, and you should have kept her in the street category. But you want to be a good dude, and I don't fault you for that. You want to be a good dude and wife her up and all of this and that. But you ignored the red signs. You ignored the red flags. And I'm not saying that it's his fault. I'm just saying that this just didn't happen overnight. Like there was something about her, because this is a huge personality flaw. So I don't think that with something like this, she would even hide it. Now, maybe she said it in a way prior to you all getting divorced that you thought that it was a joke, but I can see a chick like this saying, don't fall off, because if you go broke, I promise you I'm gonna leave you. I'm certain she probably said it in a way that you thought that she was joking, but she wasn't. Now, here's a sign on how to avoid these type of chicks. See, these are these materialistic chicks that you all love to lust after and fall and fawn after, and then you end up in a situation like this. So you have to know and keep it separate who you gonna wife and then who you just gonna kick it and have a good time with. And it has to go deeper than, she looking good. Each time you turn around, she got her hands out for you. Oh, well, my man, these internet lists that are popping up. Well, this is my man's responsibility. And if he want to be with me, then he have to do this. He have to keep my nails done and my hair done and do this and buy this and buy that. And my question to these women that have these requirements, who's doing all that for you if you don't have a man? Like, are you saying that you don't have your hair done because you don't have a man? Are you saying that your nails are not done until you get a man? Like, who's doing all this before you get a man? Who's doing all this? Whose responsibility is it prior to you getting a man? Because I just think that these things are just becoming absolutely ridiculous. Every time you turn around, it's some foolishness going on. And we just got to listen, we have to start calling it what it is. It's some pure foolishness. So, sir, if you got caught up and you got distracted by the good sloppy toppy, you got distracted by hanging off the chandelier, you got distracted by, baby, who's this? You got distracted by all of that, and then you wifed her up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you chose the wrong one. Just like, listen, people are so quick to tell women that have kids out of wedlock and baby mamas, you chose them. You chose them. Well, brother, I got to tell you the same thing. This is the chick that you chose. What made you choose her? And whatever it is that made you choose that type of chick, then maybe this time going forward, when you do rebuild and you get back on your feet, then hopefully you'll take this lesson that came with the wife, and you will learn from that and you will move forward. But don't let somebody that did not have any good intentions from the beginning, please don't let that leave a bad taste in your mouth in regards to being married and love and things of that nature, because everybody don't act ugly like that, and everybody does not have those crummy intentions. So it's just like we have to do better at who we are picking. And that's just it. We got to stop blaming everybody. Listen, if we all just take responsibility for our own selves, then I think that we are going to be a little bit better. But if not, listen, we're going to keep making these same decisions. Listen, choosing because she got bada bing and bada bang and everything is looking good. And he's just like, woo, child, let me tell you something. Listen, all these things that entice men, I'm going to need y'all to be a little bit more deeper, because y'all know, listen, it costs a couple of $1,000s. These chicks going over here, getting these bodies done and blowing y'all mind. And then when you fall on hard times, you don't have a partner. You had a placeholder, but you did not have a partner. I'm going to say that again. You had a placeholder, but not a partner. You want somebody that's talking about, listen, how are we going to progress as a couple? How are we going to progress as a unit? Not somebody that got their hand out. I won't. Can I give me this? I need this. Whoa. Listen, look, I've been up put her out. So listen, I'm gonna tell you, some of you guys, some of you men are good. I'm telling you, because some of these chicks have their hands out so much and so often, it's getting on my nerves. I'm like, every time you turn around, you somewhere begging. Listen, get up off them doggone BBL tables and them plastic surgeon tables. Save your money, invest your money, get on your hustle, get your own grind, and find your own business, finance your own life. And then when you find somebody, y'all can come together and build y'all ish together. But quit begging. I'm like, look, it's getting on my nerves every time you turn. If he don't do this and he don't do that, then he ain't. Listen, then don't be the one. Look, stop doing all this ish for these people, these entitled, ungrateful people. Because guess what? If they not getting on y'all nerves, fellas, I'm gonna tell you like this. They sure are getting on my nerves. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They getting on my nerves with all this having their hands out and begging. So listen, start screening them again. You gotta start screening these folks beforehand. How do you do that? Have a conversation. If you're worried about how much money you're spending, investing over here, this and that, start having conversations with people. And I promise you, you will start weeding these people out just like this. Weeding them out, weeding them out. Not a text message, not a textation ship, not that. You have to actually pick up the phone. Now, you got to determine which one you're going to do. You're going to save your money, or you're going to pick up the phone and start going through the sorting process. Anybody that is not available to talk on the phone, in my old school opinion, is somebody that's not fit for you to go out with. Why am I going out with you? You can't even spend 5 minutes. You don't have 5 minutes out of a 24-hour span to have a conversation. That's fine. Listen, hit me up when you got 5 minutes to talk. Because here's the thing. When you text them, you don't know who else they texting as well. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. Hey, miss me with that bull junkie. Okay, listen, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Vian, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and make a phone call. Have that conversation. And the reason why I say have that conversation, because your perception in the receipt of a text message is going to be different than how you receive the conversation when it's actually being had verbally. So that's why we want to start having more conversations, because again, you're going to get to avoid a whole lot of this foolishness. Stop texting. Stop texting. I know a lot of these misconceptions come just because people ain't talking. Y'all not talking. Y'all texting and making dates and all this and that. So therefore, you don't know what her intention is. You don't know what his intention is. So now you get there. Now you stuck. Now you get there. You find out she ain't who she's texting to be. But if you had that same conversation, then you can dig a little deeper. So if you're not digging a little deeper, then that's nobody's fault that you get caught up in a situation like that. Hey, Erica, Miss Greatness. She's saying 100%. You are absolutely right, sis. Exactly. We have to dig a little deeper. It's like we send out a chain of text messages, and you get the whoever reply the quickest or whoever gives you the right response, that's who you gonna go with. And that's how we messing up. That's how we messing up. That's how we don't know who we involved with, who we going out with, because we haven't done our due diligence. So let's stop texting. Oh, Jay, I'm not a phone. I'm not a person that like to talk on the phone. What you got to hide? What you got to hide? if you're trying to date and get to know somebody, and what do you guys think about this? I don't think that you can date someone and get to know them by only texting. I don't think that that's possible because, again, a text message, you perceive that the way your mind computes things. It may be far off from what that person's actual intention was for that message. So when we're texting leaves room for misinterpretation. That's exact. Texting leaves room for misinterpretation. This may not be your intention at all, but the way the person received it is maybe different than what your intent was. But if we pick up the phone and have a little conversation there, then maybe we can get to see who we really are dealing with. Get to know a person a little bit better. So start investing a little time before you go on a date. Listen, some of these men are always complaining, well, I'm just trying to see if she trying to go out with me just to get something to eat. Pick up the phone, have a conversation with her, see where her head is. See, you're not gonna do that because guess what? You trying to get you some. That's it. Let's come on. Let's call a spade a spade. You trying to get you some. So you not even trying to take the time to get to know her, and then you get there and then you get played, and now you mad. Now you big mad. Now you got rocks in your jaws because she played you. You come to play her to get some, but then you find out, oh, dang, she done already beat you to the punch. She done beat you to the punch playing the game. Now you mad. Now, yeah, these chicks can't be trusted. They da this and they this and that. No, 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 no. You just didn't want to put the effort in. Here's the key. If you don't want to take the time out of your life to talk to somebody on the phone, why are you going out with them? Ask yourself that. See, listen, we're gonna start holding ourselves accountable. Ask yourself, if she's not worth me talking to, why am I trying to go out with her? Which would lead to our next hot topic. Now, see, this is how we can avoid some of this foolishness right here. If a woman is not romantically interested in a man, should she still go on a date with a man? Should she still go out with this man, even though she knows that she's not romantically interested in him? Should she go out on a date? What do you all think about that? Or is she going out just for a free meal? What do you guys think? She's not romantically interested in his brother, but she goes out on a date with him. Should she not go? Or do you all think that if she is going, she's going for the food? What are your thoughts on that? Because here's the thing. First, how do you know if, my question would be this, how do I know if I'm romantically interested in a man if we've never been out? See, y'all going back to leaning and leading with these text messages and ish. See, this is where we're going wrong in today's society. All this text message, how do you know? So, in my opinion, you I don't think you can know if you're sexually attracted to someone if you have never met them. If you have never been in the same space with them, how do you know if you are sexually attracted to them? So I think that it takes at least a first date to know whether or not there is some attraction. And the attraction doesn't necessarily have to be sexual right off the bat, but there has to be some type of chemistry. How do you know that? Listen, we're talking on the phone, we're having a good vibe. But do I know at that point that I'm sexually, as a woman, do you know at that point on the phone talking to this man, do you know that you are sexually attracted to him? Do you know that, or is that something that you find out after you guys have went out and you're now in each other's presence? Is that something that you find out now, Or is that something that you find out later? Because how do you know? How do I know if I'm sexually attracted to this man if I've never been out with them? I don't know that. I have to go out with them to figure out what's going on. I got to go out with them. I got to get to know him and see what's on his bird, what's on his head, what type of person is he before I can make an informed decision on if I'm attracted to him. He could sound good and be saying all the right things on the phone and then get in person. And guess what? He's a total douchebag. So there, now, how am I attracted to that? I wouldn't know he's a douchebag until we got in close quarters with each other. So the attraction, in my opinion, comes after the interaction. So I think that yes, she has to go on the date in order to find out if there's some attraction. Now, for men, I think it may be a little bit different. I think for men, listen, you guys are visual. So if you see her, you ready to get it in. You see her, it's on and popping. Like you already attracted. You ready to get it in. But for women, I don't think like for most women, I don't think it works like that. Like you have to be in somebody's presence. Because here's the thing, depending on what drives that woman's attraction, it could be your height, it could be your voice. Baby, don't have the height, the voice, and you smell good, and you got good energy. See, it's a whole bunch of ish that you don't pick up over a phone conversation. But once you all are in each other's presence, you got it. Now I know who I'm dealing with. Now I know what's going on. Now I can see, man, whoo, man, I'm like, whoo, child, baby, he can get it. Amen. Amen again. He can get it, but that's in his presence. But over the phone and texting, how do I know? You could smell like tires. You could smell like you could smell like you working at the zoo and you did not take a bath. You could have that crap in between in your nails that make you look so it's just disgusting. Okay, there could be a lot of things about you that I don't catch on the phone or via text message that can change. So that change will say, you know what, listen, yeah, no, I thought he was good and everything. I thought he was, it was good to go, but yeah, no, we ain't no, it ain't. This ain't what I thought it was. This ain't that. So now I know. Now I've saw you in person. Now we've been together. Now I can tell at that point if I'm attracted to you in a sexual way or not. So if she's not attracted in a sexual way, does that mean, you know what? Don't go on another date with him. Well, wait, he could have a good personality. So is she not supposed to go out with him again because he got a good personality? So I want to know. So if she's not attracted to him, should she not go out with him? Or if she's not attracted to him and she determines she's not attracted to him, so does that mean that he's not supposed to pay for the meal since he invited her out? So is that what we're saying? Are we saying that a man should not take a woman out and pay for her meal if she determines she's not attracted to him? Somebody better say something to me up in this place today, because I'm trying to figure out where we going with this bull-ish? Where are we going with this bull junkie right here? Are we saying that we can't go out, so he can't treat me? He can't take me out. And if I decide that I'm not sexually attracted to him, so now he don't pay the bill because I'm not attracted to him. What that's that right there. That right there, partner, is going to guarantee that I am not attracted to you because it's petty and it's low budget. It just speaks, it speaks, in my opinion, it speaks low vibrating. Low vibrating. And listen, I don't have time for it. Like, we don't even have to be in each other's presence, because here's the thing. Again, if we spent time getting to know each other and talking, then things would be different because you would know what my intention is. Yeah, she's cool. She sounds like she cool. Let me take her out. Let me get to know her. Let me see what's up. So you may decide that I'm not your cup of tea. I mean, that's rare, but hey, it happens. Listen, all this mouth and forehead may not be for everybody. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I know I'm not. Listen, I ain't trying to be everybody. Listen, because everybody can't sip over here. Okay. Everybody can't sip over here. I know this. And I'm cool with that. Always have been, always will be. But you won't know that until you get into somebody's presence. And just to be in your presence, and just because I determined that, you know what, listen, there's no physical attraction for me, on this way. There's no physical attraction. But I think that you're a cool dude. I think that you got cool vibes. Is that friend zoning? Maybe, maybe not. Or is that somebody that, you know what, listen, it didn't work out. I don't see you, this going anywhere sexually, but you know what? You're somebody that I would love to stay in contact with because I like your energy. I like your vibe. And I think maybe we can listen. We can make some money together because those are the only people that I want to talk to. If there's no connection there physically, romantically, I'm okay with that. Scratch that. All right. So what you got going on, like business wise, like what can we get into right then and there? Like what's up with that? Let's talk there. And you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. When you tap into, and that depends on what you love and what you're attracted to. But let's say no sparks was flying initially. But then y'all get to working close with each other and you get to see how his mind is and you get to see how he think and you get to see that, oh, he's a leader and he's a builder and he's a this and listen, that ish can change the trajectory of what you initially thought. All I'm saying is get to know people. Get to know people before y'all start writing folks off, because it's just because that initial, it was a buzz. Unless, like I say, they're both douchebags in the beginning. Listen, I couldn't even see myself going to have a can of sardines with you. Woo! That's just how bad nope. We can't be friends on social, not this life, not the next lifetime. We just cannot. We ain't talking about those. We talking about those that, you know what, listen, she, her purse didn't get the opening and clapping like this up under the table on the first day. It didn't do that. Okay. She wasn't clapping. She wasn't like, woo, child, baby. She didn't get that initially. Okay. But as the night progressed and the conversation progressed, you like, man, okay, he cool. I can see, man, I could definitely see him staying around. I could definitely have him to stick around because, I mean, I like his vibe. I like his conversation. I think he's a good dude. So at that point, he's a good dude. I'm not clapping for him and I'm not all hot and bothered, but I like him. Does that mean that she shouldn't go back out with him because she ain't clapping like this and she know that if they go out again, I mean, he ain't in a position right now where he gonna get it. So at that point, when she says, put it in her mental thinky thing, yeah, no, he ain't gonna get it. He not right. He not gonna get it. At that point, should she say, you know what? Don't go back out with him because he can't get it. So you telling me she can't go back out with him on a date because at that point, the first date, she say he can't get it. In her mind, she's like, no, he ain't gonna get it. We ain't there. We don't have that kind of connection. Maurice is saying, if he invites her out, then he's obligated to pay, even if after he finds out that she's not interested. Then even if she's not, even after that, if she's not interested, then I won't ask her for a second date because we're on two different wavelengths. That definitely makes sense. And you're saying also, now if I've been friend zoned, we're going to be just that. And that's true. But check this out, Maurice. What if, okay, that first date, it wasn't no sparks flying, but there was you guys had a good connection. It may not necessarily have been sexual, but it was enough to say, you know what? I want to dig a little deeper and I want to see what's up. Does that mean that, you know what? Will there be a second date because she wasn't necessarily giving you sexual vibes like, oh yeah, it's going to go down after this date, it's going down. She wasn't giving you those vibes. Does that mean there's no second date? Does that mean there's no second date if you're not getting sexual vibes and sexual energy on the first date? Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, sexual attraction is very important. It's mandatory. It must, okay, let me just say, it must be there. It must be genuine. It got to be there. But all I'm saying is it's not necessarily there on the first date. It's not necessarily there on the second date. But there's something that's drawing you all together. And you never know what's going to be that makes her just start clapping like this, like, woo! Like, he went from now he can't get it to, woo! Let me go home right now because I ain't trying to go out like a streetwalker right now. You can instantly go from there, no sparks flying, to look, somebody give me, I'm gonna need a nurse or an usher if I don't get out of here right now. It can instantly go back, it can instantly go to that. But what I'm saying is, we in today's society, this dating realm, we're not even giving it time to find out like what could be. We're just jumping right in. And then if it ain't nothing popping off, then we jumping right out like, oh, please, she wasn't there trying to give up none. She wasn't trying to do this. She wasn't trying to do that. I'm out. Ain't nobody got time for that. And that's how y'all end up with these chicks that was in the first situation that married the dude and she divorced him because he went broke. That's how y'all end up in those situations because we're not taking the time to just get to know each other. It doesn't take a lot of time. But it does take some time. It does take some type of investment in your time and in your attention. It has to be, it's the quality. What type of time, when we are spending time together, how are we using that time? See, we can sit up here and we can send sex pics and all this and that, but then we're missing the meat and the potatoes. So now when we find ourselves in a relationship, we don't know where to go from there because guess what? We never took the time to build a solid foundation. There is no foundation. The foundation was just based upon flirting. And we all know that that's like sand, building your house on sand. So now everything sinks and crumbles because guess what? The foundation wasn't built from the beginning. But if we take the time to build a foundation and get to know each other, I think that relationships, we're going to start having different experiences in relationships and we're going to start having different experiences when it comes to dating. But if we keep going through this fast thing, nobody's talking, everybody's texting multiple people, everybody's doing all this and that. That's how we end up in this ish. That's how we end up in these situations. I like to call them these new people in situations. That's how we end up in all that ish. Because we not taking the time. We say we want relationships. We say we want love. But how many of us are really putting forth that effort to get that? We're not. We're entertaining any and everything. We all listen. We got the DMs blowing up on this site. We got the DMs blowing up on that site. We got a trillion likes on this site. We got a trillion. So we are bombarded with all of this foolery on social media. We got all of these options and all this other ish. But is that stuff really real? Or are those the things that are causing us to miss out on what's really important in life? are these things, is our social media attention, is our social media presence, is that causing us to, you know, think that we got all of this, think that all of that attention and all of this, thinking that we got a lot of good options to choose from. So just because you got a lot of attention, that's the quantity. But out all of that quantity, how much quality is in there? So we got to determine, what are we looking for? Are we looking for quantity, or are we looking for quality? Are we looking for something meaningful? Because if we're looking for the quantity, then let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep texting. Let's keep bundle texting, group texting. Let's keep doing all that, because we're going to keep getting the results that we have now. And then we're going to keep complaining about it 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, because we're doing the same crazy foolishness that has been designed for us to get the results that we are getting. We're getting the results that is designed for us to get because of the method that we're choosing. But I promise you, if you take a little time and step back from this new way of thinking, this new way of dating, this new way of getting to know each other, and go back to the basics. See, we have jumped on this let's reinvent the wheel type thing. And the wheel that has been reinvented, this is the foolery wheel. This wheel is full of foolery. This wheel is leading us to the land of nowhere. There are no meaningful relationships, it's not many, because again, people are starting off on the wrong foot. We're not starting off with good intentions. We're not starting off with the desire to get to know each other and to build something. We're not starting off like that. We're starting off trying to see who can get what, who can get over on this person, who can get over, and then everybody end up getting played. And now you back out there to the drawing board. Now everybody out there pointing fingers at each other. But we're not looking at ourselves, and we're not looking at the role that we played and our part that we played in the foolishness. So if you are looking to get to know somebody, pick up the phone, put the text messages down, pick up the phone and start initiating some of those conversations, so that we can really get to the bottom of who we're talking to. Because a text message cannot tell you who you are talking to. I'm going to tell you how I look at text messages. Text messages are a way we're keeping in contact, but text messages mean absolutely nothing to me. Nothing whatsoever, because I don't know how many other people you're texting. So until you take the time to have a conversation with me, I'm going to look at it as, hey, we just texting. It's just cool energy. It's just cool vibes. And that's just it. But I'm not going to hang up and get all caught up in text messages or instant messages or all this other foolery, because that's just not me. And to me, you're dating by the masses and you're doing all that, but you're not taking any time in one space. Now, if I'm not the person that you choose to pick up the phone with, I'm okay with that. Take me out of rotation. That's it. If I can't get a phone call, I'm good with that. If I'm not the one that is going to potentially float your boat, I'm okay with that. Take me out of rotation, bro. Listen, you don't have to good morning queen me. Take me out of rotation and focus on the person that you feel like you are willing to invest a phone call with. But you're doing too much when you're just all over the place. You all over the board, but then when you all get caught up with these basic chicks, that these shallow basic chicks, you can't go putting that on, oh, these women ain't nothing. These women, no, 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 fam. You didn't do your due diligence. You tried to go through the fast pace and not take the time to get to know who you were communicating with. That's your fault. That's your fault. You didn't take the time. So, again, to save yourself some money, to figure out who is going to be sitting across the table from you, if you have never picked up the phone, to talk to a person. And ladies, this goes for us as well. If you have not taken the time to have a conversation with somebody and you just show up for a date, you deserve whatever you get, whatever foolishness that sits across from you, you deserve it, because you did not take the time to at least get to feel these people out before going and sitting out there and going to meet them. It costs you nothing to have a phone call, have a little phone conversation, a few minutes a day, not just one, a few minutes a day, so that we can know. Listen, get to know each other. Let me hear the vibration in your voice. Let me see if you're going to be on some bull junkie. Let me see if I call you at 8:30 on Tuesday. Are you going to answer? Or are you going to wait till 10 o'clock in the morning to when you at work to call me back? Is that your pattern? It's so many different reasons why phone calls should take place. But if there's no physical attraction or no intimate attraction on an initial date, I think that there should be a follow-up date just to see, listen, okay, that was the first meeting. Okay, we got the nervousness out the way. Okay, so now it's the second date. Let's see what's up. Unless, again, you were a douchebag or she was a douchebag, then in that case, listen, we both showed up. We know that we are both douchebags, and one of us are douchebags, and we know there's no need for a second date. There's no need. But if there was some good energy and conversation was flowing, give it another shot and see what happens on the second time around. You might be surprised. You might, after those conversations and that conversation at the dinner, you might find, you know what, listen, I like this person. And then when you start thinking of, listen, because our minds, when we talk to ourselves and we start to process things as we settle down into the night, and you're like, okay, man, you know what? He was cool. I'd like to go out with him again. I'd like to see what's up. There it is. You can click and see what happens from that point on. But if you're just going expecting, yeah, I'm going to go ahead on, take her on over here, get this little lobster over here, get this little filet mignon, give her this, this T-bone steak, and, she going to get this T-bone steak, and then she going to get this T-bone steak after that. After we done with the T-bone steak, I got another T-bone steak for her, See, now, listen, now, whatever you get, that's just on you. But guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
You prove me wrong. This ain't a regular love, babe. It's that waking out your sleep with me massaging your feet, yeah. It's that anything you want, I'm only here to please you, baby. You're my command, yeah. Your kiss sends me a shot of dopamine. Oh no, I never had an interest in love until I met you. And I don't know if it's real or is it just a phase I go through, but I feel that it's true. We don't need no language, baby. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, baby. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. For sure, for sure. I don't feel it's a one night stand. It's that love you in your eyes. Take love in paradise. I one life stand. Yes, that sweep you off your feet. Give you everything you need. That's what I'm feeling. Yes, that don't pick up the phone, cause we wanna be alone. love. And I never thought I'd feel this way till you came along and proved me wrong. Oh, no, I never had an interest until I met you. And I don't know if it's real, or is it just a phase I'm through. But I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, baby. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, baby. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. For sure. Since you came in my life, I see so clearly. Yeah. You're so special.
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot. And Jaye is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Go to YouTube and like and follow us there. That's the Jaye Spot Radio. And then go to TikTok and like and follow us there, the Jaye Spot. Again, that's Jaye. Turn on the notification bell for all. Boop, boop, boop. Listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jaye. 180 Real Talk Chicago, 30 and up doing us, Tyson Smith, the Jaye Spot. Everybody that participates and rocks with us and supports us, guys, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Listen, we are going to continue on, with the hot topics. Now, guys, look, what do you all think about this? Because I thought that this was some straight, and when I say straight foolishness, listen, ladies, now some of us, we're going to have to do better, okay? We're going to have to do better. Let me talk to us for a minute. So, the young lady, her son's father came to pick him up. Now, he was in the car with a young woman, dropped him off. And so, the mother refused to let the son go with the dad because he showed up with another woman. So, apparently, the father shows up with women to pick the kid up. So it sounds like the kid is of age, 7, 8 years old, big enough to understand. So the father's position is, listen, I'm just trying to spend time with my son. You know, I don't have a car. You know, I don't have a way around. But every time it's time for me to be here for my son, I show up. So stop complaining about who's bringing me and let me get my son and let me do what I need to do. The mother's position is, I'm tired of you bringing all of these women around my son. Who's right? Who's wrong? What do you all think? Does the mother have a valid point saying, listen, you know what? Listen, you cannot have all of these women coming around my kid. I don't need all of that in my kid's life. Like, leave that alone. Like, we cannot be doing this. You cannot have all of these women. If you're going to pick your son up, but leave all these women. We're going to stop with that. Or does the father have a good point? Listen, why are you worried about how I get here? I'm safe. Our kid is going to be safe. I'm here to pick up my son. Stop worrying about how I'm getting here. I'm here when I said I was going to be here. What time I said I'm going to be here. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And all you can do is focus on who's bringing me. You know, I don't have a car. But I'm not using my not having a car as an excuse. I'm still showing up for my son. What do you all think about that? Who's right and who's wrong? Listen, mother, get the stick out of your behind, okay? Leave that man be. It don't look, if your child is safe, if the vehicle is safe, Listen, and this man is not putting your child in harm's way. What business is it of yours who picks him up? You mean to tell me, so when you dating, you don't have my baby around those strangers. If you have the baby around strangers, why can't he? Stop giving these dudes a hard time. This is where we're going wrong at. We try to micromanage these people, the non-custodial parent being a parent. Stop trying to run folks' life. This man is grown. However he chooses to get over there, he's getting over there. Mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. That's what you need to do. Mind your business. Stop trying to control how grown folks live their lives. Stop trying to control what grown folks do. This man is grown. If he chooses to have a different chick every day, drop him off to come get his son, that's his business. If he chooses to get 12,000 chicks to get money from to buy his kids some shoes, that's his business. Leave him alone. He getting your kids and he's doing what he's supposed to do for your child. Case closed. There's no case. Oh, well, I don't want him. I don't want my kid around those strangers. The only time that is a valid point is if you feel that your child is in danger. Life-threatening danger. Not because you don't like it, because you sick of seeing this chick and that chick. That's your personal business. That's something you got to personally deal with. That ain't got nothing to do with him. He can do whatever he want to do with whomever, however, how many times. It's his business. It's his business. Stop. We want to control and micromanage everything. It may not be the perfect situation, but listen, if this man is showing up, let him show up. Let him do what he needs to do. Eventually, he's going to get it together. Eventually, he's going to get tired of having this chick drop him off and that chick. But again, that don't have nothing to do with you. If your kid don't come back and say, Ma, she such and such treated me wrong, or said this or did that to me, why are you concerned? Why are you concerned? I don't want my baby seeing him around all these different. Listen, if your kid gonna know that they for the streets or not, why? It's not your business. It ain't your business. If he want to come over in a taxi, listen, even if he don't have a car, and he's walking over there to pick up his child, and he gonna walk, him and the kid gonna walk to the store, that's too far for my baby to be. Listen, mind your business. Mind your business. That's who you chose to lay down with. You knew he didn't have a car. You knew he didn't have a job. And you knew he was a womanizer and doing whatever. You knew this. But yet you still decided to have unprotected relations. And now you have a kid with somebody that you knew didn't have a job, didn't have a car, that depended on women for money. You knew that. But you cannot use all of those situations that you knew of and say, and this is why you can't be in your child's life. You can't do that. We got to stop doing that. You just petty and you trying to control everything and you still want him. So since he don't want you and he's making a way to do what he needs to do for his kid, you don't like it. Let me tell you, you ain't got to like it. Not no way, no how. You ain't got to like it, but you got to respect it. You got to respect the man that is trying. Jay, that don't make no sense. How you go? You got to respect the man that's trying. He may not be doing it how you want him to do it. But if he is doing it, sit back. Sit back, little mama. Sit back and let this man parent his child however he see fit. The only time I believe that the other parent should be interfering is if you feel that your child is in danger. if your child is not safe, then that's when we intervene. But we can't go intervening just because you don't like it. You big mad, you got rocks in your jaws, and you don't like it. And so now you want to put an end to it. We can't do that. You chose them. Every time you choose to get mad because he's bringing a different chick over there to pick your kid up, always remember, this is the one that I chose to have relations with. This is the one that baby, that's who you chose. Okay, you chose them, so now you have to deal with it. So you can't punish them for being a parent because it's not being done the way you wanted to be done. It was your bed. You laid down in it. You had a good time in it. And now you have to reap the benefit. You have to reap the consequences of laying in said bed with without any protection, and then having that kid. You got to deal with it. And you got to deal with him, the father coming and bringing whomever he got to bring to get a ride to your house to go get the baby. Because guess what? Let him ask you to drop the baby off, you're going to have a problem. You have a way to get everywhere else, so why you can't come get the baby? I'm not bringing the baby, and you want him, you got to come get him. Bet he come get him. Then you got something to say about that. We got to nick all that. These kids need both parents. So if both parents are willing to just take a step back, take 12 deep breaths, and focus on doing what's best for the kids. I always say that problems come in. We have these problems and situations because the adults involved are not focusing on what's best for the kids. We're focusing on what we like and what we don't like. We're not halfway thinking about making decisions that's going to be best for the kids. Because if we were, then we would be able to remove how we personally feel about some stuff, and we would be able to just move forward and do what needs to be done for the kids. But until we get into that position, we're never going to resolve this, the custodial parent versus the non-custodial parent. So again, let's just focus on taking a step back. Unless it's going to be this situation. Now, this could be a very touching situation. I'm going to give you the topic, and then we're going to take a short musical break. But what about this? What do you guys think about this? That the couple is dating, and he told her he didn't want a baby. She got pregnant, and she decides that she's keeping the baby. He don't want no parts of it. Is he wrong for that? Is he wrong? Is she wrong for keeping the baby after he told her he couldn't do this? Think about that, guys. We're going to take a short musical break, and when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. No. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Hair done, nail done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as eyes, I wanna check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me all that you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your bodyguard, not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good, 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 good? It's something about you. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Oh, when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting the wrong woman on. Why you gotta look so good, 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 good? With your hair down, your nails done, when you put the clothes on, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time. Guys, it's just me. Just me. But listen, sitting next to just me, we got esthetician
Hey.
Chandler,
Ooh.
mother of a group of cool dudes,
Hey, y'all.
and a little lady.
Hey.
Don't do it like that. We got Lady Lotus. Hey, how you doing today?
The sun's shining.
Yeah, but it's still cold outside.
I'm gonna give today a better day because yesterday was cold. I wanted to know who called winter yesterday.
Winter ain't went nowhere.
We is in spring, baby. Spring. What does it say? April showers bring the May flowers. This is spring. But yesterday, Chicago was like Hulk.
They done lied. Let me tell you, somebody done lied to me because I'm telling you, the calendar says spring.
But Chicago.
But this foolishness, it ain't.
I don't know. But at least the sun's shining. As long as I get the sun, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, I am a happy camper.
So am I, because I need all the vitamin D I can get.
That vitamin D.
I'll say that again. The natural
vitamin D.
Amen.
Of the D.
That vitamin D, let me tell you, it had your hair growing.
Yeah.
That vitamin D, listen, it had your bones. Listen, let's just talk about.
Just let it hug me.
Vitamin D for a minute. Let's just go there before we get into the next hot topic.
Not the D.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Let me
A, B, C, D.
When I say it, I gotta put some respect on that D.
The melanin needs it.
That vitamin D, listen, okay, it's good. Listen, the vibrations, it help your throat, it help your vision. It just helps you. It helps your immune system.
Can she get an amen?
Listen, you cash out me the $ J Spot 2022. Listen, that's what you can do because we talking about that vitamin D now. You all, ladies, okay, don't leave us out here by ourselves. Okay, you got to tell me how important is that vitamin D? You gotta it makes you sleep better. You wake up just refreshed and rejuvenated, ready to take on the world.
We're gonna talk about how it just takes the depression away. How it just makes you feel good and all warm and fuzzy.
That's that vitamin D she's talking about, you all. She's talking about the vitamin D. That vitamin D, listen.
Ain't no seasonal depression when the sun is shining on you. And take them sunglasses off, y'all. Wear them for a little bit. Now I know we look cute with our lokes on, but your eyes need the vitamin D too.
And if y'all thought we was talking about something else, you're nasty. Get your
not
mind,
the D.
You get your nasty mind out the gutter. Because we was just talking about the vitamin D
Vitamin
from
D.
we was talking about the
Get the
vitamin D
vitamin
from
D.
the sun. You know,
The natural source.
That's what we was. That's it. So if you thought anything else,
You in the right spot though.
you need the Lord, okay?
You in the right spot though. You at the J spot.
If you thought anything else other than us describing the vitamin D from the sun, you need the Lord. Okay?
Glory.
You need the Lord, and you need to be sitting in the front row.
They don't need the Lord. They need the Lord. The Lord.
In that
Put
order.
the T on the end. The
you
Lord.
need them because, see, we talking about something that's natural, okay? Something that's God-given, God-made.
Gave it to you.
Gave it to you for a reason so that you can rejoice when you have it and when you see it. It's that vitamin D. If you haven't had some,
go get it.
Listen.
You need at least 2 hours a day.
Get you
not
a
at high noon. Now stay out at high noon. That's the one that's going to burn you and kill you.
You get you a serving of vitamin D today. I promise you, you won't be the same if you get you a good dose, though.
A daily dose.
Daily good dose. Not the, okay.
You can take a daily dose of that too.
The schlong.
Not some of that starch off your back. You won't be mad no more.
We're going to talk about the schlong dong now and the vitamin D that the schlong dong produces. You know, that's for a different conversation. But listen, speaking of schlong dongs and situations, listen, as we said before the break, lady, listen, she gets pregnant. He tell her, I told you I can't do this. And she tell him, I'm keeping the baby. Is she wrong for keeping the baby? After he's like, oh, well, I can't do this. The baby, it's a baby. It's a whole baby already here.
A human.
Aren't you having this conversation a little bit too late? Like,
too late.
Listen, now here is where the great divide always comes in at. Fellas, we see it y'all see it one way. Ladies, we see it another way. Let's just fire off. Who do y'all think is wrong? What do you think about that, Lady Lotus? He's like, I can't do this. I told you I couldn't do this. But she said she keeping it.
I don't feel like there's a right or a wrong. There's another little human growing. And we all have our differences of, I don't believe in abortions. I don't believe in this. I don't want to do this. The deed is done. We made the baby. The conversation should have been had in the beginning. If you don't want any kids, then what are we going to do to prevent us from having a kid? Because if there is a slip up, I'm keeping my baby.
Papa don't preach. Baby.
That's what Madonna said. She keeping her baby, daddy. So daddy, she's keeping her baby. And either you going to be a deadbeat or you just going to suck it up. Now, there's some other things that you could do, but you might get locked up. So I wouldn't be trying to push nobody down the stairs and slip something in their food. But, you know, you should have thought about that before you had her screaming and yelling and you was talking about whose is it? Whose is it? It's mine. Because guess what? It's yours now.
They always, listen, it's always like that. They always want to know whose is it.
Whose is it? Say my name. Say my name while you doing all this.
They only want you to say their name.
Just manifesting. Whose is it? Yours.
Right.
What you gonna put in there? My seeds. And what the seeds gonna do? Sprout and grow and make a baby, you big dummy.
And now it's yours. And now you mad. See, and that's the thing. As Lady Lotus was just saying, that this is a conversation that needs to be had beforehand.
Yes.
Let's look. Okay, you don't want no kids. Okay, say you had the conversation, but there's actions that needs to follow you saying that you don't want to have any kids. So if you don't want no kids,
you don't want no kids, but you want to hit it raw.
That don't listen. Let me tell you.
You don't want no kids, but you went and you left about 5 drops in there.
And you stayed in there. Don't listen.
Marinated. Don't you hate when they marinate?
You stayed in there. You stayed
in there. The marinade is when you went and then you just lay in it. You just lay in it. Like y'all just lay there for a little bit. It's just marinating.
He made sure he was empty when he came out. You made sure you left all your little toy soldiers in there. I don't understand. How do you say, and then now,
I don't want no
I don't want
kid.
no kid.
You didn't say that when you went. You didn't say that when you had your hand in my head and you was talking about, say my name. Who's Sissy? Daddy. You had me calling you daddy. Now you're daddy for real.
Now, so don't get big mad. Now you want to have rocks in your jaws and all.
So
this
you
and
know
that.
what I like to do, right?
What?
Play devil's advocate and flip the switch.
What?
She said she didn't want to have no kids. Papa pregnant. He want to keep the baby, but she don't want to keep the baby. So now we got to do the whole, it's her body. She can do what she want to do. Exactly.
No.
You should have got your
thought
tubes
about that.
tied. You
been
should have
popping
had on
them
a female
pills.
condom or something.
You should have been doing something. It's like, for me, it's both parties have to be responsible. So listen, you cannot be a dude that don't want to use protection, and then she ain't using protection. Let's say she can't take birth control pills. Listen, it's so many reasons, and plus that is not. Listen, that does so much damage to a woman's body, till it's just like not even funny.
Yep.
So now what do? You gotta use protection, especially if she cannot use a pill. You gotta use protection. So if you know she can't use a pill, but you're consciously making a decision, I don't like the way condom
Well,
feel.
just follow the clock. Follow the calendar. Follow the calendar. That's about 10 days within the month. You shouldn't be doing nothing. Suck it up and don't get none of them 10 days of the month. Better use your mouth. Better use your hand.
But if you decide to go in there, no protection, no coat, no nothing, you ain't got nothing snipped and tucked, and she can't use protection, somebody has to be able to do something. So all I'm saying is, if there is a baby that comes and no protection was used, nobody should be surprised.
A vasectomy is reversible as well.
Man, and make sure it's done. Listen, I've heard, stories with these vasectomies. The key thing that a lot of men miss is that follow-up appointment. It's so important to make sure that you go. Now, Jay, how you know all that? Mind your business, okay? Listen, it's important to go to that follow-up appointment, because that's the follow-up appointment. It lets you know if it was in fact successful.
Right.
So yeah, if you went in and you had it done, but you never followed up, then you don't know if it was successful or not.
There are a percentage of chances that it wasn't successful, just like there's a percentage of chances of you snatching out not working.
Oh, that that snatch out method almost never works. So we should not be, you should not be leaving childbirth choices and preventions to chance. It's just like, that's your chance of rolling. What's your chance of doggone it crapping out when you playing dice? You playing, listen, you playing against the house. And if you playing against the house, you're going to lose. You are going to lose. So on both parts, we have to stop pointing the finger, and we both have to start being responsible for what's in our best interest. So if each person, if the man had his best interest and is protecting his best interest, and she's protecting her best interest, then guess what? We don't have conversations like this to talk about. But as long as people are not protecting their best interest, and it's her fault, it's his fault, then guess what? You deserve to be in that situation. That's just how I feel about it. You cannot go up in there. Ow, baby. Give some. Hey. Now she pregnant. You know I want no kids. You can't. You cannot come and say
you wanted a kid when you went in there and took the chance or the risk. Stop living your life on the edge if you don't want to deal with the consequences. That's it. That's how life go. There are consequences, there's repercussions, there's choices. You have a choice. And if your choice, the outcome doesn't come out your way, we're not playing victim here. We're not pointing the fingers, it's her fault. No, because if she didn't tie you down handcuff you and jump on it. If she did not reach in the garbage can and take the condom out and make it happen, it's not her fault. It's y'all fault.
Your fault entirely. Now, listen, also to just piggyback on what Lady Lotus was saying, listen, you all stop putting them condoms in the garbage. You better dispose of them condoms. You better listen. You better take them. Listen, I would take them. Listen, I'm going to take it with me and I'm going to dispose of it at home. Listen, you better do something because you cannot listen. You just cannot. I'm going to say that because everybody's intention is not pure. Good. Okay, that's all I can say is it's not pure. Now, Maurice is saying he's dead wrong because he didn't take care of his part to prevent it. He didn't wear a condom, so he has no say what she can do with her body. And he said, and bottom line, if he knew he wasn't ready, he shouldn't have went in naked. He knew consequences, whether they talked about it or not. He knew it. Thank you, Maurice. Listen, thank you, Maurice. That's what I'm saying. And this came from a man. It's like, okay, listen, you know what the chances are if you go up in there, listen, and you get caught. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you something. I taught mine, y'all breeders. One drip might make a baby. One drip. We come from a breeding, deep down Southern family. Okay, we are some Greenville, Mississippi people. Don't let the light skin fool you. We breeders by nature. Grandma had 11. You either gonna have 1 or 2 or 5 to 10.
See, and
so listen, if you drop one, don't be mad. You better keep it wrapped tight. You better make sure you love her. You better make sure you like her. You better make sure she ain't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And here's the thing. That is so true, Lady Lotus. And you talking to her, I had a kid. Listen, I had my son out of wedlock. I don't blame nobody but me. You know, I blame R. Kelly a little bit.
He said ain't nothing wrong with it. You could blame the whole 90s knocking boots.
Right.
All of it. Just blame the 90s.
Blame the 90s romantic vibe.
Color me bad.
I'm gonna kind of blame keep it on the down low. You know, and then
you kind of had a little moment right there. You came back quick though.
But like, who else was it? That was R. Kelly's sex. Well, that sex me. Let me see. Wait.
Sex me, baby, sex me. He wasn't talking about us though. He was talking about shh.
But you know, so in keeping on the down low, and then Silk, there's a meeting in my bedroom, and you know, so all those 90s. So
now you know that was my album right there.
You know, so that's who I'm going to kind of partially blame for my conception. So
I blame Aisha. So glad to meet you.
I'm gonna still.
I'm blaming him. I'm blaming y'all too. Hey y'all, hey Chris, hey Ro, I blame y'all. You trying to bring me a piece of candy in the park, right? Me all.
So I'm gonna blame. You know, I'm gonna take the 90s down with me. Just but
and here comes Mir.
Then he said, keep it on the down. I said, you lying bastard.
You didn't ask the right questions. You didn't follow the precautionary precautions.
This was not the down low because 8.5 months later, here he is.
Well, no, I blame it on
what? Them blue drinks.
St. Ives. I had exactly 5 coffee cups of St. Ives. My mama was at work. We was out of school. It was a no school day. And I had tried to call myself running off to go hang out with my real first puppy love and got caught. It's like, forget it. What at 40 at? Let me get to 40. Let's make this happen. 9 months later, here come the third.
Girl, listen, Sister Vance was not playing. Listen, Sister Vance was not playing none of that. We run off. Sneak off. Ain't no baby.
What no sneaking off? I'm the only kid at my mama at work. That was the one and only time. I was a good kid, y'all. The one and only time. As soon as I decided to say, hello, Let's do it. I got pregnant.
Man, sister, let me tell you, Sister Vance was listening. Inspect the gadget up in this keys. But but I tell my son the same thing. Like you having kids.
Sister Vance.
Huh?
I need to go visit her because I need some, that little gal gonna turn into a teenager and I'm gonna need some tips.
Yeah, she'll straighten out real quick.
I'm gonna need some tips.
So so it's like with my son, I tell him, like, you not ready for it. I'm like, don't leave it on her. You have to protect your own best interest. Now, he, sometimes he feel like, he's like, beloved, you just back in the day, when he was first coming up, we done had the talk or whatever. And I had to give him the talk from a woman's point of view on how cunning we can be.
We're very.
So I had to equip him for that,
Bring your own condoms. Don't be using hers because when we was in high school,
sticking
chicks
holes
in them. No, we got to teach our sons from our point of view, as well as the man point of view. Quit thinking we special. We special, all right.
And I told him, I said, listen, you ain't never had your world turned upside down until you done got with I said, son, women, we're very smart, we're calculating, and a lot of us, you gotta watch us, and you gotta watch us real good. You gotta watch because
you gotta watch, pray, and listen.
Before you know it, we've been on turned your whole world upside down. You get with the wrong one. So we got Daryl. Hey, Daryl, this is my brother-in-law. He said if the conversation was talked about and both said no baby and she got pregnant and the man says he's sticking to the original plan. He said, I don't think he should be responsible. Hold on.
Wait, backtrack that.
Oh, I got to burp. Sorry, y'all.
I can't even read it because I can't see.
He said that, Daryl said that if the conversation was talked about and both said no baby and she got pregnant and the man says he's sticking to the original plan, I don't think he should be responsible for being a father.
Oh, Daryl, that is just wrong. You need to call up here and explain why he is not responsible.
He said the decision should stay 50-50. If she wants to raise a child with another man, then that should be
the sperm wasn't 50-50. The sperm was 100. The egg was 100.
Girl, yes, it's wrong. It's wrong for that because if he went in without a raincoat, it ain't no original plan.
I could see if it was a serious, oh my goodness, she on birth control, I had on a condom and she got pregnant. We were doing everything because everything isn't 100%. That you can beat, I was the 0.1%. I done got pregnant on everything. But in that instance, we got to figure this out together, what's best for us. And if I look at you and I say, look, you did say that, you don't have to be here. But that means your name ain't going on nothing. I need full custody. You are a ghost. You dead in our eyes. Because we was trying to do what we were supposed to do.
So Daryl,
in that instance, I will agree with Daryl.
Daryl said raincoat wasn't talked about. See, my thing is this: if it's like a contract. When you have sex, you know the risk. You know the risk.
The risk of everything.
You know the risk, so you know that. First of all, it says that no protection is 100%.
Exactly.
None. So you could be the most protected person in the world and she could still end up getting pregnant. Here's why that you knew I wasn't ready. We did what we have to do to protect ourselves, but it didn't work. So now here we are in this situation. And at the end of the day, we both made the decision to lie together. So therefore, all of that I'm not ready-ish goes out the door because we knew the risk.
Even in that instance, it's still a further conversation of if it happens, what do we do?
Right.
Because I believe in this, I don't believe in that. And sad to say, in those instances when that stuff happens, it's not that easy to be like, well, I did say if I got pregnant, I'm gonna get an abortion, but it's 10 years later. I don't want to do that.
And the thing is, and I like what you just said though, Lady Lotus, because if we do take that conversation a step further, then maybe sometimes we not gonna get it in, because I know that if I slipped up and you got pregnant and you say I'm gonna keep it, fellas,
We don't
will
need
that
to be
deter
together
you?
no more.
It's like, so that if we, and I like that, if we took that conversation a step further, so what would happen? Let's just, in the event that I did get pregnant,
What are we
and
gonna do?
what would we do? Well, I don't want no kids.
Okay, well, we
then
need to
shouldn't
stop.
do
We
this.
shouldn't do this.
We shouldn't do this
We shouldn't do
because
this.
you're not gonna put I gotta have a murder on me because we both not ready to have no kids. But I know that in the event that it happened, I know I'm not getting rid of it.
And then one of us gonna be a single parent. It's gonna be you or me, but one of us.
I
didn't
still
sign up for that.
And I'm like, I ain't signed up for it either. But we both signed up for the act of coming together, so we signed up knowing the risk.
Right.
That's just like when somebody drinking and driving drunk, and you have an accident, and I didn't intend on hitting nobody. I didn't intend on having no accident. You knew the risk of getting behind the wheel of a car, and you knew you was drinking. No, you didn't have the intention to, but you knew what was at stake. So it's just like, we know what's at stake, so we can't be, it's your fault, No, we both knew what was at stake, and that's what it is. I knew it, you knew it. You don't like my decision, and that's fine. But you're gonna be there either physically or financially. Hopefully you do both. But
you're gonna be there financially. You ain't gotta be there.
I'm just saying, you're gonna be there financially, but it's like, if you decide not to be there, and to me, I don't, men like that. Like, I don't know.
Lay with you.
I can't respect that type of attitude, because it's like, how do you put it all on the woman? Like, you making it seem like getting an abortion is just like walking down the street and kicking a rock. Like, what the heck?
That's not easy. I mean, for some people, they make it seem easy, but for some people, it's not. That's not an easy decision or choice to do.
So, Durr, he said, I agree. Then why did she continue knowing the risk, or is bigger for her? Why did they continue? She can't. People love to say women. Why she open her legs? She can open her legs all she wants. If there's nothing going in there, she's not getting pregnant. Look, my legs is open. If ain't nobody in there, I can't get pregnant.
Jay, I'm with Daryl on that. If this man told you he did not want no kids, and you still let him come up in there, I ain't saying it's her fault, but you put more of a risk to all that comes along with you getting pregnant on yourself.
Right, I agree.
You set yourself up in your decision making as a woman and your choices. If the conversation is not equally yoked, then we need to move around. That's just like this man saying, I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I want to see other women, but I want to be in a monogamous relationship. Well, I really like him. Maybe I think I could change his mind. That's our problem. We always think we could change their mind, and then we end up in a bad situation. And then it's your fault. You're this, you're stupid, you're dumb. If you get out of it when the conversation is not going the way you need it, I need to remove myself from this situation, because I could pop up and I could get pregnant. So if you feel like, if I get pregnant and you don't want to have nothing to do with the baby, I don't want to take a risk of getting pregnant. I don't want to take that risk with my freedom in my life. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to find somebody that may be okay with it. And now, if neither one of us want to have kids, then we need to make sure we go get tubes tied and get a vasectomy. We going. Y'all not finna keep on telling us we got to go get our tubes tied, because it's harder on us than it is on y'all. It's a snip, snip, clip, clip.
And that is so, it's like, it's so true, because it's like, when we, again, just for me, just making the decision to lay down with somebody, it's a big deal. And I don't think that man or woman, I don't think that people should be taking as lightly as they take it. Now, Maurice says, nope, at the end of the day, when she says she's keeping it, it's her right now with that conversation. He feels the way and she's keeping it, and you don't want anything to do with the child, then sign up your parental rights and go on with your life. But know that you're missing out on a future amazing person. And that's a good way to look at it, Maurice. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't look at it like that because, again, they looking like, oh, she trapped me, this, and, it's so many different ways
Tribe,
that
you
people look
dead.
into these
Sign it over and you're dead.
situations. And it's like, if we take responsibility for our actions, then we definitely are going to say, you know what, listen, I should have did better, or I shouldn't have just did it, because we both know the chances. You both know that there's a risk and there's a chance of getting pregnant when having relations, especially if you're having it unprotected. Now, guys, listen, speaking of relations and unprotected, we got those people that we used to deal with. Some of them, some of them refer to them as bastards. Some of them call them exes, But some of these exes, are they still a factor? Listen, do you have somebody, that's in your life and it's just like they were prominent in your life, but now they just in your life a little bit behind the scenes, or they giving you that, hey, beautiful, good morning, beautiful, hey, queen, giving you those type of text messages? If things didn't work out, if y'all wasn't good enough to be together on the forefront, why are we still entertaining that? Or, you know what, listen, are you one of those people that say, you know what, Jay, just because I break up with somebody, that don't mean we can't be friends? So when you think about X, what is an X to you? Like, because again, we have to ask that because everybody's definition is different. Because it's always some foolishness. It's never just, listen, you know what an X is. You know what it is. Today, we have to break things down for some people, because people, some people are lying.
I don't know. When I think of an ex is somebody to me that I was in a sexual relationship with, that I was actually in a relationship with, whether we talked about it was monogamous or anything. If I'm sleeping with you, me. Now, if in my mind, dang, that's hard. I can't even say that because I've had those situations to where it's like, hey, I'm not looking to be in a relationship. But to me, I would still call that person, I guess, I don't know. What would I call that person then? Because I technically can't call you an ex because I wasn't dating you. I wasn't with you. You was scratching some itches. I guess an ex would be someone that I considered myself in a relationship.
And see, and that's why I said that's why we have to ask the question.
That was a little deep there. I never thought about it that way.
Because here's the thing. So for me, I would consider anybody that I've had any type of intimate moment with, you are an ex, because we're no longer doing whatever we were doing. So we had some type of dealing. Don't mean that we were in a relationship, but you are my ex cuddle buddy. You are my ex. Okay. You are my ex maintenance man. You are my, ex sad chick. Like so you are my ex in some capacity. You not my relationship ex, but I'm your seat. Listen, we did a little something. We did a little something. You an ex.
See, that take it to that's this shit coming. I'm sorry. This come in levels. This stuff is in levels. That take it on levels, because in regular conversations, when I'm like, that's my ex, I was in a relationship with this person. That relationship didn't work out. So that person is now an ex.
Wait, Tamika, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sweetie. She said an ex. She said an issue. That's what you call him. An issue that you probably glad you got rid of.
Now, all my exes are not issues. I can't say that. We don't all have bad breakups.
She said an issue.
An issue. Let me tell you something.
Like, I got a foot disease.
If every one of your exes is an issue, I think you need to take some reflections off yourself. Because every breakup shouldn't be a bad breakup.
Man, but again, but when to go back to what you were saying, to piggyback off what you were saying, so that's why I say that it's so important to ask that, because you see how you have a different definition, and everybody's definition is different. So I feel like if we take a little time and just start digging a little deeper, then we could avoid a lot of misconceptions or assuming that my definition is the same as your definition. Now, according to an online source,
do it right.
According to an online source,
Thank you.
an ex is someone with whom a person was once associated with, either in a relationship, marriage, or they once talked. So I agree with that. That's what I'm saying.
So if I just talk to so Stanley the stalker would be an ex?
Did you have like were y'all like talking like
we talked on the phone every day, but we never went on a date?
But were y'all talking like relationship stuff? I like you, we together, like we could possibly be together type stuff like that. So
no,
even if you never like
I end up calling him Stanley the stalker.
He turned into
he turned into just crazy.
But it's just like, so it's like if I talk to somebody, like, you know, I would feel obligated, like if one of my friends or my family, I dealt with, like, would you reveal that even if you felt like, okay, y'all wasn't in a relationship?
This is too much.
But y'all had some, you know, you done had some, listen, a sneaky link, that's an ex.
Of course.
It's an ex sneaky link. You may not consider it a relationship.
But I need to go back to
that
this.
your exes are a relationship. It don't say that all exes are a relationship.
But I need to go back to this talking thing, because you know our terminology of I'm talking to him don't necessarily mean he made it past us talking. Even if we went somewhere, I ain't really like him, so I don't talk to him no more.
If we was dry hunching, you are ex.
I ain't
If
dry
we was,
hunching.
if we was touching each other, we was touching on each other private parts.
But that's not talking, Jay.
You are ex. We was touching on private parts. We was rolling and touching on, rubbing on private parts.
But I need Look, I need you to go to the online source. I need clarifications on this talking.
That's so I'm with that. I'm
talking.
With the
you adding in dry humping and all that. That is not talking to someone.
But it's an ex. But it's associated with.
I understand that, but you're saying if I was just talking to someone, they're considered an ex.
But again, that's why I asked, what is your definition? Because we don't have
to say. Online source might be, you know, your online source could be the dictionary. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, talking to somebody makes them an ex. I don't agree with that.
So guys, what do you all think? What is an ex in your opinion? Let us know. If you want to talk to us quickly, 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. If you want to talk to us. But here's why it's an issue. Because our definitions are not the same. So he over here got rocks in his jaws because he's considering somebody that I used to hang out with, mess around with. He considered that my ex. But I'm just like, this just my boy. He your boy now, but y'all was touching on each other private parts. Or he used to buy you stuff or take you out and give you money.
So you said okay. So you remember my little friend that used to come pick me up all the time, take me to the store, take mama to the store, take the kids out to eat. We never did anything. He was like my friend. You trying to tell me he was my ex? Never. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything to make him an ex. He was a friend. He was a person that I talked to. He liked me and I liked him.
So let me ask you this. So is a friend with benefit, is that considered an ex?
A friend with benefits to me means somebody I'm sleeping with.
So would that be considered an ex?
If I'm sleeping with him, of course. I just gave it a fancy name, a friend with a benefit. Okay. That's a fancy name instead of just saying it's a situationship. Back then we said that's my friend, but we knew that wasn't our friend.
So is a situationship, is that considered an ex?
Yes, because you sleeping with that man.
Okay. So if there's no sex involved, then
I feel like if there's some type, like you said, if there's some type of intimacy within this equation, because we really liked each other. We, you know, like you said, we going to the movies, we holding hands, we doing this and we doing that. We never slept with each other, but you know, we kicked it. Talking and kicking it, I'm on my 80s and 90s term. Talking and kicking it is two different things to me. If I'm talking to you, you could have a girlfriend and I got a boyfriend and we talking. That don't mean you my ex.
Again,
but
that's
kicking it is something totally different. Dang, you got my head itching, Jay.
And so
You
this is
finna
why
you finna make me go back down the list. Like, so that's really my ex.
So again, I'm just saying everybody has their own definition of what an ex is. You just have to. My thing is this. Let's just make sure that our definitions are compatible for, and what I feel an ex is what you feel an ex is, because
I got
what
a question.
if this person, he falls in the X category to your boo, but to you that's not no X.
So we're doing this because my partner got a problem with who this person is.
No, we're just defining who X's are. We're just defining who X's are.
I'm just
and
gonna say,
are they
if
still a factor? Because
I'm just gonna say, if your jaws is locked about somebody that is my past, and I gotta define whether it's an X and explain to you if it's an X or not, you concerned about the wrong things.
But
now,
if they're still a factor, then they have a right to be concerned. Because if this could be somebody you going out with, you kicking it when you talk to this friend on a regular basis, but your boo, and when I say you, I'm just speaking in general, your boo may feel like, okay, I'm not okay with this, because why is she hanging out with her ex, or why is he hanging out with his ex? In your mind, you don't see them as an ex, because y'all know some of us are good for flipping these people that we done that been friends with, benefits and sneaky links. But now I found somebody that want what I want and they want to settle down. But now we done cut off the sneaky link ish, and now we just
no, we're not gonna do that.
But again, hey, some people do that.
Y'all need to quit doing that, because this is why we having this conversation now.
This my BFF. And wait, he was knocking your ovaries to your throat. So how is he your BFF? Listen, that schlong dong had you in the ER 3 or 4 times.
Not the ER.
And now you want to tell your guy this your hey.
I have exes that I'm not gonna say, like, one of my exes was, I felt like my friend. Like, really, we were friends. We dated when we were kids.
Right.
But it became a problem because he still had feelings and I didn't. So on my end, there was no issues or no problems. But on his end, he meeting people and he's constantly talking about me. So I'm a problem because of you. But in my mind, in my relationship where I'm at, I dated him when I was 16. Like, that's still my friend. We good. His mama's still got a picture of me hanging on the wall. I'm good with the sister. Like, I could go kick it with all of them right now. Our families are entwined. They like family to me. And this is like not being my kids' fathers where I have to be around them. One of my exes, we still cool. We talk to each other on Facebook. Hey, what's up? All I know is on my end, ain't no nothing going on over here. What they got going on over there, if they, you text me 5 months later talking about, hey, boo, okay, good night. What you texting me for? But you're not here because I'm waiting or I want to go kick it with you. I'm going skating with my ex. I'm not doing no stuff like that if I'm in no relationship. You own something. I feel like that person is on something.
So it's just like when you talk about when exes are involved, again, I see, we get a lot of inboxes, a lot of emails in regards to exes and like how to navigate through that type of terrain. And that's where the question, came up from. It's like, why, if you are in a relationship, or even some people are married, and your ex, some of them are still an issue because y'all haven't quite let go. Yeah, you've moved on, but why have we not closed the door completely on whatever it is?
Because some of us are better off. Some of us are better off as friends than we were whatever we had going on.
And that's where the concern comes in for some people, because they're like, okay, well, you know what? If they had that type of relationship and they had that type of rapport before, then what's preventing them from rekindling?
Because we broke up.
If the situation presented itself.
Because we broke up.
So all I'll say is this, you all, don't let these exes ruin and tear up your happy home. If you happy, listen.
Don't you do it.
Don't you allow it to tear it up, because you holding on to these people for what? If they're ex, like you just said, Lady Lois, they're ex for a reason. So if my having a relationship with you is going to cause my husband to have rocks in his jaws, I'm going to have to get rid of you, because I chose my husband. I chose him. I chose to forsake all others. Oh, that's it. Oh, he insecure. He got it.
It doesn't matter.
Those people that have those type of outlooks on stuff, this is why you end up in situations like this. You defended supposed to be an ex.
A real friend is going to respect it.
And they're going to
respect it and understand that you in a relationship. I'm finna slide back. Now, I don't care if I introduce you to my partner, like, hey, you know, we cool. This my homie, this my friend. We used to mess around with each other. It didn't work out. But there's nothing that's ever going to be presented that you're an important factor. If so I value,
by telling them that, do you think that, just think about it. Honestly, a man, first of all, if a man know that this dude done been with you, he don't want him nowhere around. He don't care about no capacity. And on man law, that has to be respected.
I'm going to say this in regards to that. If you know me and you trust me, all that other stuff, you going to have to work that out with yourself.
But he going to say, you know you, but he know men.
I understand that he know men. That man is not your problem. That man don't owe you no loyalty. Your loyalty is right here with me. I'm the loyalty. I'm the factor. So as long as he's not disrespecting you, and I'm not telling you that he disrespected me or our relationship, your focus is in the wrong place, because you're creating a problem between us because of your insecurities or whatever you feel about
really
that man.
But if he's
really
insecure?
To me, if I'm not showing you, if you don't see in my eyes that I'm lusting after him, that's how I am in my relationship.
But if he just say, I don't want him here,
I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force the issue if my man don't want him to be here. But what I'm saying is, don't come at me with that insecurity, because that's a turnoff to me personally.
Tamika saying you are right about that. But in my situation, I'm trying to help someone out that I know if I do what I really want to do, this person would be in a really bad situation. And that's understandable. But again, as we discussed it earlier, these exes, see, we all know that there's some issues that have to be addressed, and it has to be asked, because again, when you think about it, you're like, man, there is somebody or two that, I really don't want to get rid of, because we have this type of relationship. What I'm saying is, don't let your past destroy your future. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled
Jaye
for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe our channel, the J Spot. And also go to TikTok, like and follow us there, the J Spot. Again, that's J